Hello, my good man, good people out there. It's been a while, a few days actually, since I did a recording. Yeah, I'm sorry for that, obviously. But today, shipping is what we are looking into. And I gotta say, there are, I think, 2 or 3 long-term beautiful setups that you will see in this video. Again, do your own due diligence. But yeah, as always, like and subscribe if you like what you see. And yeah, let's get into business here for the shipping. Again, there are some great entries. Also, some of the stocks pays a hefty dividend while you hold it. Overall, here we have the BDI, that's the Baltic Dry Index. You can see here we are holding here massive retest of that neckline right there and into the level from this overall left shoulder, and we're now finding support here again. That's exactly what we wanted to see. We have a small inverted head and shoulders here with that neckline, and then we have a bigger one coming in here. So again, this is not confirmed yet, but it's definitely in the making. Looking really good here, up what 5% today, more or less. And yeah, it looks overall extremely well for the BDI. That's the Baltic Dry Index. So now we will look into the specific stocks for the Baltic Dry Index. And yes, there's a lot of things going on right here, I know. But overall, this is, as we discussed last time, in my view, the Vikov accumulation setup here. You can go check it out, but definitely this is pointing to that we're going to roughly 20. As the first big target here, you can see we only have this, amount of stuff that we need to get through. And yeah, we can easily go from 12 to 20 here. And a very strong setup here above the 30 weekly. Overall, the BDRY, that's the break weave dry bulk shipping ETF, looks extremely strong right here. No doubt about it here. SBLK also above an inclining 30 weekly, broken that golden trend line there, as we talked about, and we are basically going higher. The next level to look into is roughly these shoulder highs right here from that head and shoulders, which in my honest opinion has been negated when we broke it here. The last confirmation will be a close above that right shoulder. But again, inclining 30 weekly, coming up nicely here. Nice stage 2 trend here. That's the breakout. That's the confirmation retest, and then stage 2 incline. Higher we go. 7% stock, by the way. Looks really good. Now we have CTRM down 3% today, but still you can see here we are toying with that massive breakout down here. In my view, how could we play this? Again, we talked about it before. You can see here that clearly we have a trend line coming in there, and we have a squeeze coming in there, roughly like this. So yeah, if you see a break coming up there, break above 0.46 in that range, right? Then you have your stop below, and you can actually ride it for quite a long time, this one here. GLBS, still, above an inclining 30 weekly after these massive breakouts here that we have been, discussing ever since here. We were ready here, and it broke out. We have some negative divergence here on the weekly, but still we are above a 30 weekly inclining moving average right there. And ideally, we want to get back above, this whole thing right here. Yeah, nothing more to say here, really. Do we have an entry here? Maybe. I do think we still have one more leg to go before we consolidate, but still, it's the trend is strong, and the momentum is still strong after that massive initial pop right there. So beautiful. SB, I want to show you SB, but on the monthly time frame. Look at it here, guys. A massive entry is right at our doorstep right here, getting above, let's call it 4.4, give or take. That is a beautiful entry. Let's say we enter, it pops here, within a few days. You have your stop below here, so you're basically risking what, 10%, and you can just ride this for a very long time, in my view. When we break that one, I will, and I have my limits order in. I'm like 90% sure that this will break, but again, I need to follow the rules that I have. I don't want to preempt anything here, but this is just looking this is a fantastic long-term setup. You are getting paid 5% dividend while you hold, and I can easily see this breakout, go on for, I don't know, 3, 4, 5 years, and you can get 10% while you hold, while you have a lot of upside and easily, 100% upside also. Fantastic, fantastic entry right here. Ship. Again, we had that beautiful golden breakout right here. Also, that inverted head and shoulders right there, breakout again. We came into resistance, big resistance there at roughly 8.5. Again, we are basically waiting. You buy the retest here, in my view, or when we break. You could also get, if you get a squeeze, you get a breakout. Obviously, you can take that. But for now, we can look at the daily. Do we have anything? No, not really. Not in my view. Maybe you have a trend line here that is the start of something there. Maybe you have some sort of squeeze coming in here. Maybe. But anyways, I wouldn't rely too much on that. I think the big ones are massive retest here, which I do not think we will get. Due to the fact that we have an inclining 30 weekly coming up heavily here, that should push price up before we get all the way down there. So definitely it looks incredibly strong here as well. Do we get a dividend? Yeah, 1.5. So it's not the best, but still overall decent setup. D-Nord here. You can see here we came almost hitting that blue trend line up here. The fact that we didn't hit it could be problematic because, that means that, the buyers wasn't willing to push it all the way up. But again, I wouldn't put so much into it here. We're still holding that long-term golden uptrend. And as long as you're above here, it is a hold, in my view. Again, the ultimate buy will be upon a break here, maybe at some point in time. You're also getting paid 16%. But again, it has come a long way, right? It has come from 60 to now, then almost 500, and then now back to 3.5. So very strong. What's also very nice, we pointed this one out last week, the EGLE, EGLE bulk shipping. Look at it here, guys. Beautiful breakout right here, resumption. Lovely. The entry was, we talked about roughly 57 with the stop, below here. But anyways, nice, beautiful weekly move here. 30 weekly is coming up nicely there as well. The only thing that I lack here is some sort of, stage 2 breakout retest. But yeah, sometimes you don't get these, at least not for now. Also, well, no dividends for this one here, but I do think we have a move from roughly 60 now to roughly, what's that? Hey, that's roughly 90 before we have any major resistances. Obviously, the triangle high here at roughly 80 is resistance, but again, I think we will get into these levels right there. ESEA with, a bit of a false breakout here, just similar as we saw on URNM. So I would assume and hope that we just stall here for a bit before we eventually go higher. That's still a massive bull flag that has been triggered. And I think you can get a lower entry if you just wait for it. GNK, I want to make this one blue because that's a lot prettier. There it is. Massive breakout here, retest, resumption. So we had a, as you know, a stage 2 breakout right there. Stage 2 retest confirmation, resumption, beautiful. The big level to look for next is 20. We are now at 18. 3% dividend. And I do think when and if 20 gets taken out, you are going in for the triangle high there at roughly 27 to 28. Google GOGL, back within the bear flag as we discussed last time. Very important for this stock to get back into that bear flag. Trending heavily. Still, you have to look at that squeeze is still up. I do think that we will get a pullback. At least in my honest opinion, I wouldn't be buying here this late into such a squeeze right here. The big level to buy, as you know, was down here at roughly 8. When we confirmed that bottom above that 30 weekly, that was the entry at roughly 8.3, 8.4, give or take. DSX here is still, sleeping, cannot break out. And for now, we are not interested in this stock here. When could we be interested in it? I think if we can get all the way down to here, roughly 2.4, then you can have an you know, an entry, but we still have this overall head and shoulders that is triggered. But it looks to me that if it does go all the way down here, it's all the way down here. It seems quite extended to get that move, but anyways, the chart dictates, or not dictates, but you can see here we had a neckline breakdown here, retest, rolling over. So let's see how we go. It has a lot of stuff, a lot of resistance to get through right here before we can become bullish. So it has a lot of work to do. Skipping over to BOAT, the Sonic Shares Global ETF. Still great day, 2% up today. Still have that breakaway gap here. But again, overall bullish chart above an inclining 30 weekly. Sideways price action looks beautiful. Nothing to say really. Here we have TNP. And TNP is interested due to the fact that that is a massive inverted head and shoulders that has been created for 8 years, more or less. And right now you can see here we are trying to escape. We haven't escaped totally yet, right? We have. But again, if we get above that 25.3, give or take, that is, you know, a massive confirmation. Gap below here, again, it has come a long way, so it could be a bit jittery up here. But again, long term, this one it looks fantastic. You can also see the golden trend line break here, all the way down there. That was the break at roughly 14. You are getting paid 2.5%. That is also nice to have, right? But you can see this red resistance here, how important it is going back 25 years. When we break that one, easily, this one can ride for many years. TNK came into our red resistance zone here. As you know, there it is, going back to here, getting rejected. We are still above the 30 weekly inclining moving average, which is nice to see. We do have a lot of weekly negative divergence here. So again, just have that in mind. But for now, it is still strong, still overall a very bullish trend. But yeah, again, I will become a buyer when we get above 67, or on a really big pullback. Then I will be a buyer for this one if I were to get into it. But to buy here after this long of a move into that red resistance, that's not how I do things, as you obviously know if you have been following me for some time. TORM here again, massive bull flag breakout here into the bull flag high over here. Again, it's a major buy when we get above here, and you can see the 30 weekly coming up nicely as well. So for now, mega bullish here, especially when we get above that 256. No doubt about it here that this could be the retest and that could be the resumption. That is the play until proven otherwise. Very strong, very strong. This one pays roughly 20% dividend. Wow. INSV, I don't have I did delete all my stuff for this one, so we will skip it for this one here because I had to delete the lines. DHT, guys, here it is. Boom, breakout right there. The entry has been triggered and you're getting paid 9% while you hold it. You can see it here on the daily. Beautiful stuff right here. Truly amazing here. You can also see that cup and handle getting triggered there. Again, stop loss, depending on how you want to play it. Ultimately, you can have a deep stop loss below that candle right there, or you can play it a bit more safe in this region here. Again, that's totally up to you. But I would just have a stop loss below that weekly candle there, because if that breaks, that means that we lose the 30 weekly and probably also the green uptrend that's right there. But for now, the path is the first one there, and then the next one should be up there at roughly 20. Very strong, very nice. Again, we had the entry here. That was our first entry. Now we have our second entry. Boom, boom, 2 bullets right there. Beautiful stuff. STNG. Yeah, STNG here looks incredibly strong as well. Really an extended move. You can see here coming down from 10 to roughly 70 into massive resistance over here, also over there. But looking at it on a shorter term, breaking out, retesting, resumption as we speak. So for now, The trend is still really strong. 30 weekly coming up nicely. Still in a yellow uptrend here. So again, sit tight, be right, pay, get the dividends 2% per year. Not the best, but still, hey, 2% is definitely better than nothing. We have a big golden trend line coming in here. I think when we tag that one at roughly 83, that is going to be big resistance. NAT here, you know my take on that. I'm just waiting for a break of that golden trend line. I'm not fond of what's happening here. I have no idea how to play that one, so that is just my opinion on that. Fro, still, as we talked about, nothing new here really. We are in this golden uptrend, and the 30 weekly is coming up nicely. You don't do anything until we violate that golden uptrend right there. Sit tight, be right, get the dividends, 13%, beautiful. Sim, I want to show you Sim. Why? Because we are actually getting a bounce at the left shoulder low right there that we discussed last time. And we wanted to see, you know, this one by stepping in here, because that could be the start of a massive overall inverted head and shoulders with prices way higher, to be honest, than where we are today. How could you, if you want to be very aggressive, I wouldn't say suggest, because I'm not suggesting anything, but if you want to play it aggressively, you can assume that this is the low of that right shoulder. You can buy in here. You need to have a stop loss, you know, placed somewhere below, and then you can ride it higher, or you can just basically wait for maybe some sort of squeezing here, and then we break to the upside, or you can ultimately wait for a break above 15.5. It depends on how you want to play it, how aggressive you are really. But definitely massive support here. If that gives in, then we're definitely going a bit deeper. So yeah, you can play it multiple ways. Again, on the weekly here looks fantastic. And you know my rule, if you want to get in here, you go to drop down 2 time frames. So then that's daily, then 4 hourly. And then you wait to see some sort of squeeze here. Maybe we need to go down to the 1 hourly for some lower time frame stuff. So depending on here, you maybe have a trend line break right here, and then you have the stop below right there. Again, totally up to you. If we break here, you have a stop loss below here, and then you hope that that is the bottom of that right shoulder. Again, totally up to you. You can play it in multiple ways. You can play around with it. But overall, we're getting bias in at the level that we looked at, roughly 12. And still early. The week is obviously very young since it's only Monday, but still, there's some nice early start there. Is nice to see, to be honest. That's all, guys. Again, thank you for tuning in, and sorry for not being on for the past 4 days. It's been a long time since I haven't been doing any videos for at least 4 days. So, guys, have a great one. Bye.